All right, so before I get into this video, I want to make a disclaimer here. I don't want to have to say some of the things that I have to say for myself. It ain't even that I necessarily want to talk about these things. I don't want to have something against humanity because of humanity's irresponsibility to themselves or them not holding themselves accountable for their own actions. You see, I don't want to hate humanity. I don't want to not like people. But I'm telling you, the further you go along in life and the more you live and the more things you see and the more repetition you see, these dumb things, these idiotic things that people do, and just little small things. I mean, it's so many things. It's not just one thing. It's so many different things. I'll give a couple examples. People that don't clean up after themselves is it's just one of my pet peeves out of many pet peeves, because I know that I'm going to clean up after myself. I'm in an apartment where I have to share a bathroom with two other guys, and yet again, there is another tenant there that is, I don't know if, he has some kind of mental disorder, or I don't know, or he's having some kind of life crisis and he's just doing something on purpose, but somebody smeared crap all over the seat and it was all over the floor, and I had to clean it up. You see, I had to clean the shit up because of somebody else's stupidity, somebody else's ignorance. And when I'm on the road, there's so many irresponsible drivers. There's so many inconsiderate people on the road. They only care that they get to the destination that they're going as fast as they can possibly get there. And it's just, you just keep seeing these things over and over and over and over, and you realize how people are the reason why there are problems, because they cause the problems. And me, I'm an individual. I'm trying to get away from the problems as much as I possibly can, because only idiots create problems. Only idiotic, stupid people want to create problems for themselves and other people, because they're addicted to it. They have this just pathetic way of thinking that when they down another person or they make a problem for someone else, that makes them feel better because they can't take it upon themselves to clean up their act or to do something for themselves. So they have to take it out on other people. They have to blame other people. And see, it might seem like that's what I'm doing, but I'm not for blaming everybody for our own problems. See, I don't jump on that boat or that bandwagon either. I don't jump on that negative train where right when something goes wrong or someone has a problem or someone did them dirty, or like me, these people doing stupid things, petty things, idiotic things. And that's my misanthropic side, because I do have a misanthropic side to me. To me, people are pointless. After a certain time, people are pointless. How many things can you say to a person before it's pointless? You can't say no more. How many things can you do before you're like, okay, well, I gotta go do my own thing now because this is pointless. We're not really doing anything. We're not really saying anything. And the conversations tend to be the same conversations over and over and over again. And I'm just a person that I can't hack that. It's something that bothers me. It's something that I want to get away from as much as possible because there's no point to it. It has no substance in my life as a person. I don't like small talk. I don't like talking about things that I'm not interested in. I don't like being around people that I'm not interested in or don't have a hobby or a craft or something that they have something going for themselves. This is just how I am, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, when I sit here and I think that there are 8 billion people in this world running around, driving around, going to work, eating, sleeping, shitting, going to the bathroom, just doing everything that humanity's doing. 8 billion people doing this. It kind of makes you lightheaded. It makes me dizzy. It makes me say, this is absolutely crazy that there's 8 billion people here on this planet doing what? Everybody is like, how many people have their own thing going? How many people are building upon something? How many people are creative people that every day they're into something that they do and they stay busy with? And this is why I'm to the point where you get to this point as a person, and this is where I'm at in my life. It's time to break away. I'm not saying that I can completely get away from all of this because I can't. I can't get away from all of this. That's impossible. You can never get away from all of this completely. I know I will always be a part of this world, but I have no connection with a lot of this stuff anymore. It doesn't mean anything to me no more. There's no meaning in it to me anymore. The only meaning for me is to start my own thing and be my own boss of my own thing and say, this is my thing. This is something I have going that I'm interested in. You know, it's something that when you wake up, it's like, okay, this is my thing, and this is what I'm gonna put all of my time, all of my energy, all of my effort, all of what I am into. And if you ask me, I think it is time for people to start breaking away into smaller tribes of individual people. Because this world, humanity is, I'm through with humanity as a whole. I'm done with humanity as a whole. It's pointless. There's nothing going on out here that I'm interested in. There's nothing that I want to really live for out here. The only thing that I have left is to make something happen on my own accord, you know, do my own thing somewhere. And I don't know if, I have no idea. I don't know if somehow, I don't know what's going to happen from now until then, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm not putting that pressure on myself to try to sit here and figure the future out, because there is no such thing. You can't figure the future out. But what I would tell every one of you out there, and I mean this 100%, whether, you know, you feel my energy or you're understanding what I mean or what I'm saying or why I'm saying it, and none of that matters. I'm telling you, you must go start your own thing somewhere, because it's all that's going to be left. I'm telling you, here's what's going to be left for you as an individual person the further you go along in life. See, when you're younger, you don't realize these things because of everything you've been conditioned to think that you have to be, or you must be, or if I'm not like that, then I'm not going to be accepted by people. They won't accept me if I don't act this way or do this thing or live this way. All that's bullshit. You're gonna realize how nonsensical and how irrelevant most things that people are doing in this world are. You're gonna catch on to it and you're gonna say to yourself, what have I been doing this whole time? What have I been doing? I've been lollygagging around. I've been bullshitting around waiting for people to do something for me. Nobody's coming to do anything for you. I'm telling you, nobody is coming to save you or to save the day or to do anything for you. Now, I know a lot of you talk about how you hate work and you hate going to a job. That's because you're going to some corporation to do things for them and get them rich. You're not starting your own thing. You're not thinking of starting your own thing because you're in fear or you don't have the vision for it or you're scared to do it because you don't think you can do it. See, what you need resources and you can start something. If you have resources and you have the manpower, you can get a small group of people and you can start doing something and then you can call it your own. You can say that this is our thing. This is my thing. This is something we're going to build upon. We're going to be productive with. But see, nobody's telling you this stuff out here because everybody's blinded by ambition to get more and to be successful for other people. And I have to have the latest $500 pair of Jordans and I have to look this way and I got to act this way. And I'm telling you, later on in life, you're going to come to this thing where you say to yourself, the only thing left for me is survival, a craft, discipline, and being honest with myself and being responsible for myself. That's all you're gonna come to. You're gonna see how irrelevant and pointless and nonsensical most things are. And you're gonna see it if you're being logical. If you're a logical thinker and you're actually taking an honest look at this world and the state of how most people think about the world and about each other and what's going on today with these phones and technology and et cetera, you're gonna see how pointless it all is. That's all you see on social media is people trying to entertain other people. People keeping people distracted, keeping people gullible, keeping people dumbed down and numb to everything. And all the while, none of us are doing anything to start anything for ourselves. And what happens if this thing goes out? What happens if the grid goes out? What happens if the stores close? What happens when that happens? This place is going to be absolutely, it's just going to fall apart in a minute notice. And when that comes, none of us are prepared. None of us. Not even me. I'm not even prepared. And that's why right now I am preparing my mind to be prepared soon. Because I see this whole thing and there's nothing for me here. There's nothing for me at all. There's nothing for me in phony social situations. I can't stand small talk. I can't stand not having something in common with people. And, you know, I had something come up. I just, the more that this happens, but you know what? Now, I'm not even going to get into that because I'm not going to talk about a lot of my personal stuff that I do, like, because that's even pointless. You know, nobody cares about my personal life. So I'm just telling you this, you see, because if I talk about me, then more than likely it's not going to resonate with you because I'm not saying you. But see, nobody will tell you these things because they don't have these things on their mind. So therefore, they're not going to tell you about it because they're not doing none of this. They're so blinded by, I got to get more things for people. I got to look better than other people. I got to get ahead of everybody else. There's no such thing as these things. What don't we understand? This is an illusion. This is an illusion in our minds that we're getting ahead of other people. Nobody's getting ahead here. Nobody is better than anybody else here. No, just because you have more things and you're chasing this, you're chasing after something and looking for answers, there is no answers here. The only answers is to start your own thing. The only answers is for you to build something for yourself where you can survive and where you feel as though that it's your own refuge. You see, and here's why I haven't been making more videos on this. Because I feel like a hypocrite telling you this because I'm not doing it right now. But see, I'm thinking this right now. I'm still not doing it because I don't have the resources. I don't have what I need to do it. But I will be so bold as to say, hey, sometimes you got to do things that nobody else will do. I'll be so bold as to say, if there is anybody out there that you have it to give, I will take a hefty donation. I don't care if it's 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30, 50, 100,000. I don't care if some rich person comes across my video and you are willing to give to someone that is going to use the money wisely and is going to use the money frugally and is going to use the money to build something, then you found your man. You found him right here speaking to you. Now, I know most people would go, you're nuts for asking people to donate thousands of dollars to you. You're nuts for asking someone for anything. Why not? Why not? If I was somebody that was rich and I was watching a video of a man or a woman that I knew that their intentions and their motives were for the right things and they were responsible and they were going to do what they said they were going to do, I would donate to that person. I would. Because see, that's how I reflect on myself. But is that how we reflect on ourselves? Is that how you reflect on yourself? And I'm not someone begging. It has nothing to do with begging people, but I'm willing to accept something that will be used to build something for myself. Because other people, we're just waiting around. We're just sitting around. Listen, there is no such thing as absolute independence. Nobody on this planet is independent. We all need something from someone else or someone else's work to provide a need for us, or something that we need. We have to sometimes, even though we don't want to, we have to rely on other people and we have to get things from other people. We got to go to the store to get something. Even independent people that say they're independent, they're full of crap. They're not independent. They still go to the stores. They still are online making a living. They have to depend on people, places, and things. So when you see how this really is, the thing is, I just want to get to a point where I can be as self-sustainable as possible for myself while I still can. You know, I'm not saying that one day when I get older, then I'm not going to have to depend on other people, because I am. All of us, when we get older, are going to have to depend on somebody. That's just the way that life in the world is. You know, who are we fooling with these things? You know, I just hear so much nonsense and so many lies and so many people disillusioning themselves with things today. If it doesn't make you sick, excuse me, then more than likely you're not listening. You're not hearing. You're just hearing what you want to hear in this world. But I'm telling you, it's when you come to logical common sense, you're going to realize that the thing with today is we are too reliant on corporations, where we are too reliant on other people. Not because I was just saying about, yes, we do need other people, but it doesn't mean that we need other people for everything. And we're so reliant, we're so dependent on people to do everything for us today. And America has become spoiled. America has become, it just gets everything handed to them, and we have it too easy. And I was just talking to some volunteer that was with me the other day, and he reminded me of something, and I already knew this, but he reminded me of it. He said that he took a trip to Africa, and he said those people have nothing, but they are content. They are, now he said the word happy, but they are content with their life because they don't have much, but they have each other. They have real human connection. They are a small tribe of people that have a human connection through very few resources that is needed for them, and that's all that they need, and they're content. They're smiling, they're doing what they do. They don't have depression, they don't have anxiety, they don't have mental disorders like Americans do. We create all of this stuff. We have created this. What can we not understand about this? We have created these problems for ourselves. We have created this. We the people have created this. But we always say, oh, we the people of the United States, our forefathers, we worship our forefathers. Even that is a lie. Our forefathers are the reason that this whole thing got set up. Why the money system, why the corporations, why all this led into how it is today. It was because of our forefathers that were ignorant, that were political men that thought that that was a good idea. They thought that that was a good idea. It wasn't a good idea. Did we forget that the white man just a couple hundred years ago pillaged, killed, raped tribal people in small tribes? Do we forget this? See, we're not seeing behind the smoke screen. We're not seeing the legions behind the things we're seeing. See, we don't think of that thought. We just look at something that's beautiful and says it's beautiful, but what built that thing was ugly. What put that thing together was ugly. And I can't sit here, I'm not going to sit here and give you every little detail or every little piece of information of what I mean. If I sat here and thought about exactly what I mean, I could give you many representations. You know, when a political leader goes into another country and they see each other and they're smiling and shaking their hands and whatever, that's complete bullshit. That's a smoke screen you're seeing. When really these two guys, it's all a show. It's all a fake, phony show being put up. And this is what I hate about humanity. I hate the side of humanity that is hypocritically, nonsensically doing all of these things that we don't need to do, but yet we're still doing them. And we are all attributing to this. All of us are attributing to this. It's not just them or those people or, you know, everybody else. It's all of us that are attributing to this. Every single one of us. And when we say, we the people are the problem. We the people are the problem that cause the problems of every problem. And irresponsible people do irresponsible things. But see, here's what I get sick and tired of hearing. This is what I get really sick and tired of hearing on YouTube and the internet and everything, all that I hear is words of how everything's wrong with this world and everybody's to blame and everybody's the problem, but nobody takes actions to do anything about it. You know, nobody goes and does something on their own. Nobody starts their own thing. Nobody says, okay, I'm done with this shit. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of seeing this shit. I'm tired of being a part of this shit. I'm tired of witnessing this shit. So let me go off and start my own thing so that I don't have to keep seeing this or living with it or around it. And I'm sorry, that's just how it is. You know, I actually don't even like thinking of this. I don't want to not like people, places, and things, but you just cannot help it when you're being a logical person. When you're being logical and you're thinking for yourself and you're being honest with yourself. See, when you get honest with yourself, you are going to be shunned. You are going to be mocked. The more honest you are with yourself, the more lies you will see hidden behind jargon with other people, places, and things. And you will see that many people are disillusioned by their own illusions of what they think is something real. They think that if I keep doing this thing, people are gonna like me. If I keep doing this thing, I'm gonna be successful one day. If I keep doing this thing, I'm gonna get ahead somehow. You've been fooled, you've been duped, you've been lied to with that kind of mentality. I'm not saying don't do anything for yourself. I'm not saying don't make something happen for yourself. But when it has to do with stepping on other people or downing other people or blaming other people for everything that it is that happens to you or everything you do, which it sounds like what I'm doing, but it's not what I'm doing. I'm just calling out people that do dumb shit. I'm calling out people that do irresponsible things. I'm calling out people that don't take accountability for their own actions and their own words that they're speaking. And then when it comes back to them, when karma comes back, then they put more karma out. You see, when it comes back, they just have more things to say about everything instead of saying, you know what? I need to do something here. I need to make a lifestyle change. I need to build something for myself. I need to make something happen while I'm here, while I still can for myself. But not too many people do that. It's just a blaming contest. It's a who can get more ahead contest, you know? And it just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going. And humanity has been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. Humanity is its own worst enemy. Mankind is its own worst enemy. We have been killing, raping, destroying, bullshitting ourselves, lying to ourselves for thousands and thousands of years. This is where ideologies come from. This is where assuming things comes from. This is where blaming everybody else comes from. This is where all of these things come from that we're still doing today is because we did not take accountability for our actions in our own life. But yet, how many people are going to actually see that for themselves? See, that's the thing. And you know, this is another thing I don't like saying, but it's true. And it's not all of the parents' fault. But most of the reasons why people are the way that they are is because of the parents, is because of how the parents brought up the child, is because of how the parents raised the kid, is because of what the parents told the kids or didn't tell the kids. See, an irresponsible parent is going to have an irresponsible child, is going to have an irresponsible kid. An ignorant parent is going to have an ignorant kid. But it's not all the time. There are parents out there, not that I'm ever gonna have kids, but there are parents out there that they do treat their kids accordingly, and they help their children, and they give them children things, and they show them to be disciplined with things, but yet somehow that person makes the decision to be a complete idiot for some reason. I mean, it's just how humans are, you know? This is why when I think about 8 billion people, it makes me lightheaded. It makes me dizzy. It literally almost makes me sick to the pit of my gut thinking that there is 8 billion people here. You cannot control 8 billion people. That's why this world is out of control, because there's so many people. And I've gotten to this point where I say to myself, it's almost like an F it attitude, but I still take responsibility for me. I still hold myself accountable, but it's an F it attitude. It's like, okay, I can only provide for myself and maybe a few other people in my tribe. All these other people, they're gonna do what they do. They're gonna say what they say. They're gonna live how they live. They're gonna go where they go. They're gonna do whatever it is they're doing. You can't control that. And when you see how out of control, how everything is kind of out of your hands and you're not really in control of anything but your own life, and you look at all this, you just see the chaos in it, and you see the pointlessness in so many things, and you ask yourself, what am I doing here? What am I doing out here right now, standing making a video? Like, what am I doing? But what I'm doing is I'm preparing my mind to break off. I'm preparing my mind to go start my own thing eventually here in a little while. Because this thing, there's nothing out here. There's nothing here. All it is cars going up and down the road, going places. All it is people going to the store to get food. It's all just the same thing every day, and I've accepted that, but this is why if everybody in this world could be a creative artist and we could all have individualism but still help each other in times of need and do what needs to get done, and then we could have our free time to do something we like doing or something we enjoy doing, either together or by ourselves, we have the choice to do that. You know, because we have a big piece of land that we own, and we could do those things, and we don't have to count on the system. We don't have to count on the stores. We don't have to count on any of that. We can count on our own thing, my thing. This is my thing. This is something I have going. And look, I know that it's not happening now, and it does bother me because right now, but 37 years old, there's nothing else to do. I'm just in the process of getting it through my head of accepting the fact that this is how it's gonna have to be. And there is no other way, because I can't see myself doing anything else. When I'm around people, I just get too tired too quickly with the conversations, because nobody's really talking about anything. All they're doing is gossiping about what's on the news or what the politicians are saying, or some kind of thing, drama, or some kind of problem that's going on. And when I listen to them, I say, yeah, because you're causing the problem. You are the problem. You are the problem, just like I'm my own problem. And until we get that through our thick skulls, then life is going to be a complete drag, and we're going to be relying on other people. We're going to be blaming other people, and I don't want to do it no more. I'm sick and tired of doing it. I'm sick and tired of these words that I speak, if I'm being honest. You know, I like making videos, but I don't like drawing the kind of attention to me of a person that might relate to what I'm saying, but they take no responsibility for themselves. You see, they might understand what I mean. They might say, oh yeah, man, what you mean, I absolutely agree with what you mean, and you're telling the truth, and I relate to that, and I can understand that. Okay, well, now the question is, what are you and I doing about it? What are you and I doing in this lifetime? You know, what are the things that we are going to make happen for ourselves? You know, are we going to be productive people? Are we going to be people that build our own thing? Are we going to be people that make something of our own lives and quit waiting around for others to do something because nobody's doing anything? So anyway, it's almost to the point where, yes, I write, and I'm a writer, and I love writing, and I like getting stuff off my chest, and I do talk about this world. I do talk about the state of this world. I do talk about how humans do what humans do, and I talk about those things. But you get to this thing where you get kind of tired of always speaking about it. You get tired of talking about it. You get tired of words. And then you're like, okay, now all that's left is actions. All that's left now is for me to act upon something so that if I'm tired of this thing, then I can get away from this thing. If I want to do this thing, then I can go do this thing. It's just going to take a little bit of time for me to do. But see, most of us, we're letting the fear of what the world thinks what we're doing. We're letting the fear of other people in our family and what they think we should do hold us back. We're letting the fear of not being accepted if we do our own thing and we're honest with ourselves. I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying here. The more honest you are with yourself, and the more that you go to create your own thing, the more that you're gonna see how much people, they don't want that to happen because they don't think that it can happen for themselves. And it can happen for them, but they don't think that it can. And when you're honest, when you're an honest individual that gets to the point and you don't have time for stupid shit, and you are a creative person, you're a person that wants to build your own thing, you're gonna see how many lies are going on. You're gonna see how much bullshit is being said. You're gonna see the conditioning of people. You're gonna see how everything's hidden behind jargon. Everybody's putting on this thing for other people, and it's all an illusion. It's one big illusion. And there's some people, they're actually going around with these smiles on their face, thinking somehow that they're getting ahead, or they're more than, or they're more successful because they have more stuff. And all they're doing is they're lying to themselves. They're under an illusion. They're under a complete, utter illusion. See, it's the mindset though. It's how the person goes about doing it. See, I'm not going to step on anybody to get where I want to be in my life. I'm not going to criticize another person to get where I need to be in my life. I'm not going to blame another person for why I'm not where I'm at in my life. It's because I didn't do anything about it. It's because I did not make the move. It's because I did not have the mindset yet to do it. And the person that takes accountability for themselves, this channel is more than likely only going to be for folks and individuals that take accountability, that are responsible, that when they see something that happened that they didn't want to or whatever, they're not going to go blaming everybody right away. They're not going to go right to the negative thing. They will put it upon themselves to say, okay, well, why is this happening for me in my life? Why am I here? Why am I still living this way? Why do I see all these things this way? And what can I make happen? What can I do while I'm here? You know, all that we have is time. Time is the most valuable thing while you're alive, and needs. Needs and time are the two most valuable things in this life. And most of us are wasting our time on stupid, irrelevant shit. And most of us were focused more on what we want to get approval from other people. See, we're not focused on the need part. What do I need to do to get to where I have to get to get what I want? It first has to become a need thing. It can't be, I want this. I want to get more of this. I want to have this thing. I want to do this. It can't be that. It has to first be, we've got to get it in our minds that we must start our own thing. We must make and create our own thing. It has to start there. If the thought does not start there, then we're going to be wandering around looking for others to do it for us, or blaming others for the reason why we don't do these things. And this is when you come to this kind of mindset, you realize that when you're around other people and you see how distracted they are by these things, you go, well, this person isn't going to be able to help. You know, this person is only going to know so much of what I'm saying. And then if I have to tell them, then one of a million different things can happen because they're not looking into it for themselves. You know, and I just don't have the energy for it. I don't have the energy for other people. I don't have the energy to chaperone or be responsible for other people. I just don't have the energy to do it. And I don't want to do it, you know? I want to find, if it ever does happen, it has to be creative people that I'm around. It has to be people that has something going for them. It has to be people that likes doing something that they do, that they are busy with something, that there's something that they have going that they want to live for. Like, everyone else is just sitting around really doing nothing. And see, that's not the way that I really want to say it, though, because I sit around and I sit around too. But what I mean is, what is on the minds of the people that are sitting around doing nothing? You know, if all that we're doing is sitting around all day, eating potato chips and watching the news and watching someone else do something, we're not living. We're just slowly dying. We're not living our life. And then we wonder why we're so depressed and why we have all these things going on in the minds of people, and why people are acting out in stupid, ignorant, dumb ways. And we wonder why this is going on. It's an accountability and a responsibility, and no discipline, no self-control, no mindset of understanding, discernment. There's none of that on the person's mind that does these things. It basically all comes down to accountability, and when you're someone that is a creative, or you're someone that you see how this all is and you want to get away from it because you know that there's nothing there for you, and you see how pointless most of it is, it all comes down to accountability and being responsible for yourself. That's all it really comes down to. And the more you go on in life, you see how there is a lack of that throughout the land. And me, yes, a lot of times I'm an angry individual. I'm very angry because of the actions of other people. And it's always other people that fuck my day up. It's not me that messes my day up. It's really not. You know, yeah, I get miserable sometimes, but I get miserable because of my own circumstances and my own situation. But every time that something is going right or everything is like, okay, it's not that bad, there's always someone that comes along and messes it up. It's always another person's actions. It's always some stupid, someone mad at the world doing something dumb and trying to get ahead of someone, you know, in a rush to get somewhere, and they're not thinking, they're not using their brains, they're not using their minds, they're obliviously numb and stupid and dumbed down and not intelligent. They're fools. And the person that can't say that at first, see, I had to call myself out before any of this. If you have never called yourself out, then you're never gonna understand anything I'm saying. If you haven't exposed yourself or called out your own bullshit, if you haven't ever called yourself out before, then you are a part of the lie. You are a part of the denial. You are a part of the reason why there is all the problems that there is. You are the reason for those things. If you have never called yourself out, or you say, oh, I'm not wrong about anything. Oh no, I didn't do that, he did that. It's not my fault, it's everybody else's fault for why I am the way I am. And yeah, there might be people, I even know a couple people, yes, there might be people where you know, your parents might have done something that you didn't like, or they might have had a different mind state that you did and you despise them and you have resentment against them, but you can't keep blaming them for what is going on in your own life or how you're going to live the rest of your life. See, that's just you building up hatred for yourself and resentment and all these other things. You gotta quit blaming what people have done to you before. That is an excuse for us not to do anything. And I'm not talking about people that had really bad shit happen. I'm not talking about that, because that's not me. I'm not responsible for those things. I'm just some guy walking down the street venting my mind with stuff. But it's almost like I'm gonna say, you got to be willing to forgive and move on from shit, even though you don't want to. Even though I know some people, they cringe at saying, oh, I will never forgive that person, I will never let go or anything. Yeah, I understand that. You'll never forget. There's things that I can't forget either. And having to forgive people for doing stupid shit, I find it kind of hard to do today, if I'm being honest with you, because the more and more it happens, it's almost like sometimes forgiveness is not the way. Sometimes confrontation has to be the way, but nobody wants to confront anybody. Nobody wants to confront shit here. Everybody just wants to say, I'm not responsible. And see, when we say, I'm not responsible, oh, it has nothing to do with me, and there's no confrontation, then that means everything is out of control. That means there is no structure, there is no accountability, there's nothing there like that. It becomes a madhouse, it becomes a loony bin for us. So if we can't understand that, then we're not logical people. If we can't take it upon ourselves, look right here as I'm walking, idiots, idiot people. Look, somebody in a rush, look, he's still, whoever's driving that car, they're still jipping in front of people. Someone was about to turn and they had to stop, but they were such in a rush to get around, and they're beeping. They're beeping at them because they had to stop. See, that person is an idiot. That person is a complete idiot that should not be on the road. And if I had the ability to give that person a fine or something right now, I would. And I'd get them off the road. See, it's like when you see this stuff time and time and time again, and people have not had this happen, they don't understand it. They go, oh, well, why are you like that? You shouldn't be like that. See, they have no clue. They have no clue. And the things that I see every day, I run into things more than most people, I think. I don't know how it happens, but I do. I run into stupid shit. And that's just an example right there as I'm walking. One idiot on the road can cause a pileup. One idiot on the road not waiting for the person to turn, and they're so in a rush, they're beeping because the person has to turn. That is a stupid fool, an inconsiderate idiot. And then when you call these people out, they're like I don't even know what to even say. When you call them out on their bullshit, then they're like a volcano of irresponsibility. They're like monsters waiting to rip you apart because of some dumb shit that they did. And I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't like being like this. I don't even really like talking about this stuff, but you know what? The more that it happens and the more that I have it on my chest and my mind, I have no choice but to talk about it, because I don't know how to vent this shit out. Because how can you when you see it every day all the time, and you just keep witnessing it and you keep seeing it and stuff, and then you say, well, these people, why do I want to be around these people? Why do I want to be around most of these people? They have nothing to offer. They're not doing anything. They have nothing to say but bullshit. They're all disillusioned by things, thinking that they're getting ahead or they're more than everybody else. And it's just, the whole thing is just completely wrong. The whole thing, it's all conditioned bullshit, and it's all because of us not taking responsibility for ourselves. And it ain't gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop. This is the thing. The world will never change. This is something that you have got to accept, is that people, places, and things are not gonna change. So accepting that, you just gotta do it. And the only thing you can do if you want is change your lifestyle, because you know other people ain't gonna do it. You know, they're not gonna say when they're wrong or when they messed up or when they didn't take responsibility for something. And the more you see this, and the more you get real with yourself, the more you're gonna say, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to break away. It's time for me to get the hell out of Dodge here because of this bull crap. And that's to the point where I'm at right now. So that's what it is, and that's just what it is. That's humanity for you. So humanity in a nutshell. We could do great things for each other, but we choose not to. We choose to do stupid shit to each other. We choose to blame and to criticize and to down and all these things to each other, instead of being productive and starting our own thing, building our own thing, you know, having our own craft. We choose to do all the opposite shit. And I'm tired of it. I'm just done with it. I'm done. I'm absolutely done with it. It can't go no further. So anyway, I'm going to end it on that note. Take care of yourselves. Be responsible for yourselves. Later.